There's something about the washing of feet that begins the process of change inside our souls. My family moved into the house on Marion Street in 1958. My dad opened up a photography studio and he taught his daughters the trade. My mother was known as Mrs. B. In 1980, I began to work full-time with my dad in the photography business. After my parents died, I moved back into the building and continued my life as a photographer. In 2002, I began to tolerate a homeless person sleeping on the porch. I didn't want that person there. Slowly, though, my heart started changing. I saw him getting into his sleeping bag and his feet were filthy. I asked him if I could wash his feet. He said, okay. For homeless people, trench foot is a very big problem. You get these terrible putrefying feet and awful blisters and wounds of every kind. So washing the feet is just a very simple first aid. It's also a spiritual process. So this one man comes and he comes to tell me, to warn me, you cannot trust us guys. We're cons, we use people, we hurt them, don't let him into your house, don't let me into your house. And I looked at him and I said, can I wash your feet? He said, okay, why not? So I washed his feet, and 2 days later, he's letting me take him to Eugene to a detox for heroin. And he was excited. And he told all of his friends, and they started coming. In this time frame, my business slowly died. My customers were afraid to come through the group of men who were standing on the porch. As much as I loved taking pictures of people and being part of their milestones in their lives, the choice between creating images or helping a suffering human being, Our Father's Porch is a place where people belong. It's a ministry based on the principles of Christian hospitality. The people who come to my porch are incredible. They're the people who are going to change the world. They're hookers, they're alcoholics, they're heroin addicts, they're people who have suffered tremendously in life. And when they recover, they live beautifully. They are wonderful, awesome, intelligent, caring, tender. Those are the people who come to my porch. A really beautiful story is about Mike and Christine. Mike's this tall, blonde tax collector. Tax collector on the street is someone who goes out and enforces drug debts. Not a nice guy. And he came to the porch and was in and out and troubled and so on. But eventually, he decided he wanted to get serious, that he was actually quite miserable with his choices. Christine really had her eye on Mike for a long time. She comes eventually to stay at our Father's Porch too. In the process, they get a great deal of support and mentoring from our church, Salem Vineyard. Eventually, they got married. The church hosted their wedding. Mike was baptized. None of this would have been possible without Salem Vineyard. The homeless are everywhere. They're underneath the High Street Bridge. They're at Wallace Marine Park. They're off of Highway 22. They're over on the creek near North Salem High School. They're in your backyard. They're everywhere. They're on my porch. It's my dream that every person coming out of jail and prison has a place to go to, a family to belong with. It's my dream that there be 20 houses in Salem just like mine, with somebody in it making it a home. If neighbors would help neighbors, if neighbors loved one another, our city would be the city of Shalom. Oh my goodness. I was a fearful woman, and now I don't know why to be afraid. Instead of being a 53-year-old depressed, lonely woman, I turned out to be a woman who thinks that life is awesome, that it gets better with age, and there's nothing to be afraid of. I never dreamed any of that would happen, and it was a consequence of that first just barely tolerating a homeless person sleeping on the porch, and that has changed everything. Changed most of all me.